So, number one on your top 20 prospect list is
Walker Jenkins. Not because he's done so much to solidify it, but because he's um, got the highest upside and has been a little injured, but now he's back and playing well. So
yep.
not a lot of thought had to go into this one, even though two is closer to one than it was earlier in the year.
Fair enough. Yeah, so just to recap on Jenkins, 20 years old at Double A, and someone tweeted me about this yesterday and was like, I've been so much more impressed with Kalen Culpepper than Walker Jenkins. Well, Walker Jenkins would be a college sophomore, and he's playing in Double A this year. 26 games, he's sporting a 138 WRC plus, walking over 15% of the time, striking out just 17% of the time. I think the thing that you can choose to ding him for, if you want to, that I am not, is we haven't seen a ton of extra base power. We haven't seen a
Right.
ton of home run power yet. That is the kind of ping he's got from a lot of outlets, but I'm not pinging him for that until he's 22. Like that is what a lot of the kind of research I think points to. Like you see the biggest gains in like exit velocity and strength up until age 22. So he is also my number one guy. We're aligned on one at least.
Okay. So before we move on from him, let's just talk a couple other things. I
Yeah.
haven't thrown this at you, but let's talk about when Walker Jenkins debuts.
Yep.
It's not going to happen in 2025.
Agreed. I do agree.
2026, though, is entirely fair.
2026 is more than fair. I think that's the expectation. I would. So let's put the giant, like, big asterisk there, right? Of like health governs all. And he has struggled to stay on the field. Like, it's been an injury in each of his 2 full pro seasons that have kept him off for a couple of months. If he stays healthy and performs through the rest of this year, I'd expect him to start 2026 at AAA. And then it's just a matter of, are you performing? Are you healthy? When does the opportunity come? Or when do you force the opportunity because you're playing so well you need to go?
And would you say, like, if we're talking about like median outcome, right? So I mean, there's a chance that Walker Jenkins continues to get hurt, continues to not hit for power, all of this.
Mm-hmm.
There's a chance that Walker Jenkins stays healthy forever. All of a sudden, the power clicks and he's an all-star and the greatest whatever. Somewhere in between, though, is the most likely outcome.
Yep.
And would you say, and I'm only doing this because I know you hate comps, is like a fair, like median outcome,
God damn it, Jeremy.
Max Kepler?
Sure. Do you mean like in terms of like production? Like that's your comp, right? You're not saying like stylistically or like to the tools are similar or whatever.
Right.
You're saying in terms of value, he's like a 2 to 3 WAR player
Right.
probably as a median outcome.
Right. He'll be a above average corner outfielder, if not center fielder. Will steal some bases.
Mm-hmm.
Will have a year where he hits more home runs than you expect, but for the most part, not like a power profile, right? I mean that's a fair comparison to make. If things don't do this or do this, and just kind of that he's a solid everyday regular. Certainly, we'd want more, right? We would prefer more like Kyle Tucker,
of course.
But somewhere in that range. And if you get Max Kepler, Max Kepler is a good player. He wasn't great,
Yeah, for sure.
But I think that's like, if Walker Jenkins just stays healthy, he's going to be Max Kepler in the major leagues.
I think that's fair at a minimum. And like the one thing I point to as like evidence of that is the stability of his performance is actually really impressive. And like this is a very like simple down way to talk about it, right? But if we compare all of his minor league games from 2024 to all of his minor league games from 2025, here's the numbers for comparison. Walk rate in 2024, 15.2%. Walk rate in 2025, 16.8%. Strikeout rate in 2024, 12.8%. This year, 17.4%. WRC plus in 2024, 141. This year, 140. WOBA last year, 395. This year, 397. he's not really eroding as he goes through the levels, which I think is really, really encouraging for a 20-year-old. And so if you want to ding him for the lack of power, I think that's fair. I think given his age and the quality of performance when he has been on the field, that's something I would kick the can down the road on. But I do think that's a fair performance outcome comp for like 50th percentile outcome, which is good.